home a cheap 10-pin in monthly prizes or walk away with a grand prize of 250,000 kwacha. Chaliroku, and you cannot afford to not get lucky. Use your ABSA card to enter the draw. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
For in-depth news coverage from across Zambia, local and national news, business, politics, and sports, this is the Sun FM News, brought to you by ABSA. Your story matters.
The news.
With the news, my name is Alan Mwale. The headlines. The church has been urged to engage government on matters of concern, both positive and critical, stressing that this administration is open to dialogue. President Hakainde Hichilema has acknowledged that the late 60th President Edgar Lungu is the only Zambian former head of state to pass away while holding presidential immunity. The Lusaka High Court has adjourned the hearing of a Socialist Party President Dr. Fred Membe to allow him to attend the burial of late former President Edgar Lungu. In sports, ZPL Super League declared their intentions to defend the Zambia Super League next season. We do have the news in detail shortly.
The news. 88.5 Sun FM.
The news in detail. The church has been urged to engage government on matters of concern, both positive and critical, stressing that his administration is open to dialogue. Speaking when the United Church of Zambia UCZ executive paid a courtesy call at State House, the head of state reaffirmed that the government is not in competition with the church, but rather sees it as a partner in addressing national challenges. President Hakainde Hichilema emphasized that many challenges can be overcome when the church and government work together in the spirit of collaboration and mutual respect. He further urged the church and the general public to prioritize efforts that promote national unity and inclusiveness. He added that the government desires a democratic environment
the drought comes again because we are doing things. I want to close by saying that the church should not hesitate when there's an issue they need to be addressed. Good or bad, does not matter. It is how we approach each other. It is how we reach out to each other. So the government your government is open for issues, even challenges.
And UCZ Synod Bishop Festus Chulu raised concern over delays in the government's approval of a proposed 160-megawatt solar power plant, saying timely decision-making is vital for national development. Bishop Chulu also called on citizens to uphold civility, warning against the misuse of freedom of expression. He stressed the need to exercise rights responsibility with a view to preserving peace and national unity.
But an opportunity to foster dialogue, restore unity, and reaffirm Zambia's long-standing identity as a pillar of peace, love, and justice and reconciliation. Mr. President, Your Excellency, we recognize also the challenges and uncertainties that have surrounded this period. And as a church, we commend you for providing sound leadership that has maintained stability in the nation. We further offer our prayers and encouragement as you lead this nation through this trying moment. As a church, Mr. President, we advocate for respectful public discourse.
Meanwhile, during a press briefing today, Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo announced that President Hichilema will visit Ndola tomorrow to commission the upgraded Kiln 1 and the new lime production line at Chilanga Cement Plant.
I'm sure as you may know, Chilanga Cement used to produce 500 metric tons of cement per day, but they've upgraded the plant and they've put in modern equipment, so the production now will be 1,500 metric tons per day. So the president will be coming tomorrow to commission that important project. This will translate in creating new jobs. We expect Chilanga Cement to employ more people.
President Hakainde Hichilema has acknowledged that the late 60th Republican President Edgar Chagwa Lungu is the only Zambian former head of state to pass away while still holding presidential immunity. Speaking during a courtesy call from 3 church mother bodies, President Hichilema expressed hope that the late president's remains will be laid to rest in Zambia, highlighting Mr. Lungu's service at the highest level of national leadership and describing him as a national asset. The president encouraged a respectful dialogue and understanding, adding that any concerns related to the burial should be addressed after the funeral in the interest of unity. Addressing public concerns over ongoing constitutional reforms, President Hichilema clarified the constitutional review process is aimed at strengthening democracy and was never intended to cause division. Meanwhile, Evangelical Churches of Zambia Bishop Andrew Mwenda, speaking on behalf of the church mother bodies, said the church is not against constitutional amendments, but emphasized the need for a broad-based and inclusive approach. Zambia and the rest of the world prepare to witness the burial of former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu in South Africa, while political stakeholders and civil society leaders have paid tribute to his legacy, describing him as a humble and selfless statesman who consistently put the country before himself. The Lusaka High Court has adjourned the hearing of a Socialist Party President, Dr. Fred Membe, to allow him to attend the burial of late former President Edgar Lungu, set to take place in South Africa tomorrow, Wednesday, 25th June 2025. Dr. Membe is facing charges of unlawful discharge of a firearm, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and acts intended to cause grievous bodily harm. Was arrested in Serenje following a violent clash with UPND supporters during a by-election campaign in 2023. His lawyer, Simon Mwila, has confirmed that the court has exercised its discretion and granted Dr. Membe leave to travel for the funeral, noting that today's session could not proceed due to the late former president's burial. The matter has since been adjourned to 22nd to 26th September 2025. Mr. Mwila has, however, expressed optimism that his client would eventually be acquitted, stating that Dr. Membe remains confident in the justice system.
Was arrested in Serenje, and the matter has since been moved to Lusaka. I'm sure you have been following the events. We are unable to sit today due to the burial of Dr. Edgar Lungu, which takes place tomorrow. The court used its discretion to allow our client to go and attend to this important national event. So the matter has been adjourned to 22nd September 2025 to 26th. So we'll keep you posted on what is happening. We will not comment on the merits and demerits of the matter.
Meanwhile, Dr. Membe has revealed that he reconciled with former President Lungu before his death. Speaking to journalists, the Socialist Party leader disclosed that he and Mr. Lungu had not spoken since 2014, but had an encounter aboard a flight from Harare in October 2023 after witnessing the inauguration of Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa. He confirmed and commended the court for acting in good faith by allowing him to attend the funeral, stressing that people should be mourned and buried with dignity. Dr. Membe has also expressed happiness that the South African government acknowledged that Mr. Lungu be buried by his friends and family.
We made peace with each other. We reconciled the differences we had. And it would have been unfortunate for me to fail to attend his funeral, something that we set up as important from the very beginning. If someone says, don't come to my funeral, don't come. Stay away.
That's his will.
Because a person is buried by their friends.
The Ministry of Education has emphasized that the creation of the digital curriculum platform was driven by rising concerns over the lack of alignment between many existing digital learning tools and the national curriculum, resulting in inconsistent quality and relevance of content. Speaking during a meeting with head teachers in Livingstone, Education Broadcasting Services senior producer Mr. Jeffrey Kangoma said that the platform is inclusive and particularly responsive to the needs of learners in remote areas. He explained that its offline capability enables students without stable internet access to use preloaded content, allowing for uninterrupted learning regardless of connectivity challenges. Mr. Kangoma also noted that the platform features interactive lessons, videos, and assessments that are fully aligned with the national curriculum, enhancing student engagement and supporting educators in delivering standardized instructions.
To create awareness of our e-learning platform. You notice that the Ministry of Education entered into an agreement with ZICTA to have an e-learning platform that is inclusive and something that is acceptable by the Zambian curriculum system. There was a concern that there were too many platforms that were there and most of them were not in conformity with our school curriculum. So these features have been made to make sure that the platform is as interactive as possible for the learner, because you have to understand that these e-learning platforms are mainly self-learning programs. It is also worth noting that our platform, also all the videos have been embedded with sign language so that we bring as many people on board as possible.
Meanwhile, Zambia Information and Communication Technology Authority ZICTA Communications Officer Jane Chilumba underscored the importance of sensitizing learners, parents and educators on the responsible and secure use of digital platforms. She reaffirmed ZICTA's commitment to working hand in hand with the Ministry of Education to promote online safety and digital literacy across schools.
Our key role in this consumer awareness, after the rollout of the digital curriculum, like my colleague Mr. Jeff mentioned, we were in the 116 districts, we met with the ICT teachers, but then we thought as we go to these provinces to enlighten people on how the curriculum is working, how do we bring our learners and our educators to speed on these risks? So when you talk about online risks, I have circled on cyberbullying, because cyberbullying is the most common online risk among our children. So at ZICTA we have a role. We have been visiting a number of schools to carry out awareness on these vices.
In collaboration with ZICTA, the Ministry of Education has rolled out the digital curriculum in Southern Province, offering both online and offline modes in the first phase, which targets learners in grade 10, 11, and 12. The Medical Quality Healthcare in Zambia, MQHZ, has called on the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ABSA, to ensure the timely distribution of essential renal consumables, emphasizing their vital role in sustaining care for dialysis patients. Speaking in an interview, MQHZ Director General Dr. Quince Mwabo cautioned that supply delays can severely disrupt treatment schedules. ZAMSA has begun the nationwide distribution of renal consumables, including the critically needed Nipro bloodlines. Dr. Mwabo welcomed ZAMSA's ongoing efforts but stressed that any delays in the supply chain could result in increased morbidity. He highlighted the need for proactive inventory management. He said in order to reduce the impact of any potential shortfalls, health institutions must prioritize patients who are most at risk, adjust treatment schedules as necessary, and improve communication with both patients and caregivers to promote preparedness and transparency.
To ensure continuity of care, healthcare facilities can prioritize patients' care and adjust treatment schedules as needed, while also enhancing communication with the patients, caregivers, and healthcare providers. This multifaceted approach can help mitigate the risks associated with supply chain distributions and ensure that patients receive the care they need. As MQHZ, we commend ZAMSA initiative and encourage continued collaboration with healthcare stakeholders to ensure a stable supply chain and uninterrupted care for dialysis patients.
Elisha Matambo says compensation for farmers affected by the Sino Metals disaster, which contaminated both their fields and water sources, will be conducted in 3 phases. Speaking at a media briefing today, Mr. Matambo explained that after consultations with all the relevant line ministries, it has been discovered that some of the impacted farmers may be unable to resume using their fields even after a year. He noted that in some cases the land might not be viable for farming for up to 3 years.
They will be working, Sino Metals and Zema and other agencies will be working on normalizing the soil. So they said after 1 year they'll be able to go and plant their crops again. So when we sat as ministers, Saka, 6 of us, it was discussed and agreed that 1 year is not enough. It's better to give farmers compensation for 3 years.
The Economics Association of Zambia has attributed the recent appreciation of the kwacha to a combination of strong domestic fundamentals and favorable external conditions, marking a positive shift in the country's macroeconomic outlook. EAZ President Dr. Oswald Mongole has revealed that the improved tax inflows, enhanced agricultural productivity, and increased mining exports are key drivers behind the kwacha's upward momentum. He says the local currency has gained strength against major international currencies, benefiting from higher US dollar supply and growing demand for the kwacha in trade and domestic transactions. Despite the gains, Dr. Mongole has warned that geopolitical uncertainties such as the conflict involving the US, Israel, and Iran could still affect global oil prices and trade routes, posing potential risks to Zambia's economic stability. The kwacha is currently trading at 23 kwacha to $1. Government has reiterated that gender-based violence, GBV, remains a widespread human rights violation across Southern African Development Community SADC, with profound consequences for individuals, families, and entire communities. Minister of Community Development and Social Services, Ms. Doreen Mwamba, noted that despite various interventions aimed at improving access to justice for women and girls, many across the region continue to face discrimination, violence, and systematic barriers, social, cultural, economic, and political, that hinder their ability to seek and obtain justice. Speaking during the official opening of the 2025 Southern Africa Heads of Prosecution SAHOP Forum annual general meeting themed Innovative Criminal Justice Practices, Strengthening Regional Collaboration to Combat Gender-Based Violence, Ms. Mwamba emphasized the need for stronger collaboration among SADC prosecutors to find lasting solutions to the escalating challenge of GBV. Ms. Mwamba highlighted Zambia's own strides in tackling the vice, pointing to robust advocacy initiatives that engage communities, traditional leaders, and religious institutions to dismantle harmful norms that perpetuate the subjugation of women. She also cited the establishment of fast-track courts for GBV cases and a raft of policy and legal reforms, including the revision of the National Gender Policy, amendments to the Marriage Act, and the enactment of the Children's Court Act as examples of government action. More in the following report.
Gender-based violence remains a serious challenge in Southern Africa, accounting for at least 31% of girls married before the age of 18. It is for this reason that during the Southern Africa Heads of Prosecution Forum in Livingstone, Minister of Community Development and Social Services, Doreen Mwamba, said that despite the progress made in legal reforms in Zambia, women and girls still face discrimination and barriers when seeking justice. She highlighted efforts including fast-track GBV courts, legal reforms, and working with communities to change the harmful cultural norms.
Further, the government has also supported the establishment of a specialized gender-based crimes department at the National Prosecution Authority. These institutional arrangements are amplified by laws such as the Children's Court Act, which we enacted in 2022, the Marriage Amendment Act of 2024, which prohibits child marriage, a vice that not only affects Zambia, but the region as a whole.
Meanwhile, United Nations Resident Coordinator Beatrice Mutali praised the Zambian government's approach, stressing the need for innovation and regional cooperation to fight GBV.
But as a region, united by joint challenges and a common commitments. We know the statistics, we know the suffering, we also know the progress is possible. The question before us today is not whether change is needed, it is how quickly and effectively we can deliver it.
And Director of Prosecution Gilbert Piri called for reforms to make the justice system more responsive to the needs of women and girls across the region.
For us to build safe and inclusive societies that will allow all our people to thrive. Our role does not end only in criminal justice, but also includes working collaboratively with key actors into the socio-economic and health of our women and girls. It is my hope that this very critical meeting will serve as a catalyst to develop innovative solutions in order to eradicate GBV and achieve gender equality.
The two-day meeting has brought together prosecutors from 14 SADC member countries to share ideas and strengthen collaboration against gender-based violence. Augustine Kapambwe, reporting for Sun TV News in Livingstone District, Southern Province.
We take a break and return with sports.
Imagine having the financial freedom to live life on your terms. With the ABSA Ultimate Plus account, you can manage your finances, save for the future, and access personal loans. Plus, enjoy travel insurance, a credit card, and retrenchment cover when the unexpected happens. If that's not value, I don't know what is. Let's help you write the next chapter of your ultimate story. Call 5950 to open an Ultimate Plus account today.
Your story matters. ABSA.
ZPL Super League side Power Dynamos Football Club have declared their intentions to defend the Zambian Super League next season. Speaking to the club media unit when the team kicked off their preparations for the 2025-2026 season, defensive midfielder Salulani Piri expressed his desire to help the team achieve set targets.
Thank you very much. I think we've rested well. to come back to the challenge, focus on this coming season. Of course, we want to defend the league this season.
Perry's words were echoed by striker Brian Masanyinga, who is aiming to beat his goal-scoring record next term. Brian confirmed that he was the club's top scorer last season with 9 goals to his name from the total 54 scored by Power Dynamos.
Yeah, you need to expect more because I need to beat my own records. So, like, I came in the Zambian Super League, I scored 7 goals for Kwazi. Yeah, I marked to say that I need to beat those goals to score more than 7. And I did, of course, I scored 9 goals. And here we go again, it's another season, it's a new season, I need to beat my own record again. I guess you should expect more than 9.
Oswald Mutapa's men were crowned ZPL MTN 2024-2025 Super League champions after recording 20 wins, 8 draws and 6 losses in 34 league matches played. To put the seal on the season of success, Power Dynamos dominated the ZPL MTN awards as a head coach. Oswald Mutapa was named Coach of the Year. Goalkeeper Willard Mwanza got the Golden Glove, while creative midfielder Frederick Mulambia was voted the most disciplined player, and Owen Tembo named Player of the Season. Despite joining Power Dynamos Stars, striker Titus Chansa was joint scorer with Nkana's Idris Mbombo. That sports item brings us to the end of this edition of the News to End. We recap on the headlines. The church has been urged to engage government on matters of concern, both positive and critical, stressing that his administration is open to dialogue. President Hakainde Hichilema has acknowledged that the late 60th President Edgar Lungu is the only Zambian former head of state to pass away while still holding presidential immunity. The Lusaka High Court has adjourned the hearing of Socialist Party President Dr. Fred Membe to allow him to attend the burial of late former President Edgar Lungu. In sports, ZPL Super League side Power Dynamos Football Club have declared their intentions to defend the Zambian Super League next season. And that's where we end. Do have a great one and stay tuned to Sun FM TV. My name is Alan Mwale.
Sun FM.
A comprehensive coverage of local and national news, business, politics, and sports. The Sun FM News was brought to you by ABSA. Your story matters.